Hello everyone. Good morning. Okay, just a minute. Have you tried that code? I think yesterday I asked you to write one program, right? That is related to scanner class. You just need to read
Yes,
the.
ma'am.
Okay, so you have tried that?
Yeah, ma'am. Just one thing actually,
Hmm.
I am stuck at actually.
Okay.
That phone number, taking phone number as an input and displaying that. So it is integer, and I think we have to convert it into a character, right? Uh,
Why you need to convert phone number into character first?
uh, because when I have taken input as integer phone number,
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting type mismatch, cannot convert from string to integer.
Okay, can you show me your code?
Yes, ma'am.
So you wanted to share your screen?
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure.
Huh, better. Just a minute. Huh? Let me give you permission so that I can check that. Yes, you can share. Let's see why you are getting that error, okay? Hmm.
Can,
Okay. Yeah, so the point is you have used wrong method. That's the reason. Okay.
uh,
What you need
okay.
to do, if it is integer, no, so you can use next int. That is a method.
Okay, okay. Here, this next
Huh.
int. Oh, okay,
Instead of
okay.
next line. Because see, I told
Ha,
you
ha, ha.
next line it will be only accepting string data. Correct now? So you just
Yeah,
need to write here that whatever your object name it is, dot next int. Try that. Next. See, next integer whose return type is int, right? So
yeah.
this method will read your integer data. Now put the semicolon
Hmm.
and this will work. Okay.
Okay, okay.
But only what you need to do for the character. There is no direct method in scanner class for the character. Okay. So
Hmm.
everyone, you need to read the data as a string and from string you can apply the method, caret method. Do you remember? We discussed caret method where you can
Okay.
pass index value. So absolutely when you say zero index value, it will read only single character, whatever character user will enter.
So,
Okay.
from these inputs, whatever we are having, like first name, last name,
Hmm.
gender, and so from
Address. Hmm.
at which instance we have to use that character value? Because I have used everything as a string.
Okay. I think you have taken gender also as a string, right?
Yes, yes.
So I ask gender to take in the form of character, only one single character.
Okay, okay.
If that person is male, you need to just put M. If person is female, you can put F.
Okay, okay.
So
Okay.
try to write logic
Hmm.
where you are reading only character.
Okay,
Okay.
sure. I'll make those changes then.
Okay. Fine. Chalo. Great. Okay. Try all the participants. Okay. Then only you will understand methods and data types and how to use and where to use. Right. Okay, great. Guys, today again we'll be talking about this keyword. Let me just give you few overview on this. So what happens? We are learning some building block of Java where constructor plays very important role. Technically, what is the meaning of constructor? It will help you to initialize the object that we have discussed, okay? But the point is, this part you will be required in automation also while designing your framework. Because whenever you declare your Selenium object, to initialize Selenium object, we use this building block, constructor. Again, in the constructor, there are few things. Like we discussed yesterday, there are two types of constructor, default and the parameterized one. Usually what happen, you don't need to create that block inside the code, okay? Because default constructor always get called by the JVM. But the point is, whenever you wanted to pass some data to your constructor, which is called parameterized one, at that time, that constructor block you need to design in your code. Correct? This is important. So what happens? Somewhere when you declare a constructor and you are passing same values, I mean same variable name, like your instance variable name, that will create conflict, right? Because in that case, Java will assume that you are just assigning local data. But what is our task? We need to assign local data to the instance data. And here comes this keyword. This keyword is a very special keyword in Java, which will help you to assign, okay, or which will help you to point current instance of that class. Means whatever there inside that class, whatever instance variable, whatever instance method, everything you can access. everything you can assign with the help of this keyword. Okay. But guys, this keyword we can use in multiple ways. So if you can see on the screen, just have a look. Very first, yesterday we discussed this point. This keyword can be used to refer current class instance variable. Means generally to differentiate between local and instance variable, we use this keyword. Okay. Then second example also we have seen. This keyword can be used to invoke current class method. So if you wanted to call any method, right? So generally we write what, suppose example, I'm having M1 method and within M1 I wanted to call M2 method. Two ways. Either you can directly call. I can write directly in this manner. So that means you are calling M2 method. Perfectly fine. But another way is what? You can just write this keyword, this dot M2. So actually, this dot M2, okay, this dot M2 and it is equal to M2. Both method concept remains same. So either you are writing M2 directly you are calling or you are writing with this keyword. In both the way you are able to call that method. Correct now? And this both statements having the same meaning. That's the reason this keyword will help you to refer current class instance, current class, instance method and variable both. But guys, today we'll be learning these important topics, right? As I told you, automation related topic, this is use of this, okay? Use of this to return current class object. So entire Selenium code, I mean Selenium script, all the methods and all, everything get actually designed and developed using this pattern. And this pattern we call builder pattern in program. In fact, let me tell you, not even builder pattern, right? We can also call this concept as a method chaining. Okay. So in Selenium, how exactly we are writing the logic? That is, we are following with the builder pattern, or we can just call it as method chaining. So once you understand this last point, right, then you will understand the Selenium development also, how they have actually designed the code. But for that reason, it is important to know the different purposes of this keyword. That's the reason yesterday we have taken only two examples. Today, let me continue with this remaining example. What is the purpose of this keyword? So now just have a look. The third point is given what? This keyword can be used to invoke current class constructor. Okay, so let me show you now this third example. What is the meaning of this keyword? Just have a look. This is again week number 3. Two examples, 2 points we have seen. Now today let me create this keyword. Okay, I'm giving a same name. This keyword demo 3. Okay. And in this third demo, what we need to understand how with the help of this keyword, we can invoke constructor. Great. Now please have a look. Constructor name and class name always same. So let me design first one constructor. Now guys, just have a look. Suppose I'm designing. Okay, constructor should not have any return type, correct? So this is my default constructor. Let me write a message. So default constructor is calling. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I will create one more constructor, but at a time, two constructors should not have same name and same signature, correct? So this will be duplicate now. But if I change the signature, means if I pass some input here, this will allow. Correct? Java says you should not have same method with same name and same syntax. So what I'm going to do now, I will make this constructor as a parameterized constructor and I'm just passing some ID here. Okay. And then I will write this constructor meaning is parameterized constructor is calling. And better that ID, let's try to print. Here I'm printing that variable. So whatever input you will accept, you are able to print that. Great. So guys, two constructors I have declared in this class. Now we need to understand purpose of this keyword and there is another use. This keyword also help you to invoke current class constructor. But current class constructor, if you wanted to call, guys, what is written here? This and along with the bracket means this is actually this constructor it is. Okay, this is not only keyword. This concept, I mean, whatever it is written here, this and the bracket, you can read in the form of this constructor. Okay, what is the name of this statement? I will say this constructor. Fine. Now, how to call? Let's see. First point. Constructor call, it is possible only at the time of object. Means at this moment, I declare two constructor. How I can call? Just have a look. I need to create object. So I will come back to main function. That is the process, correct? Come to main function, declare your object. Let me create T1. T1 is equal to new, and this is what I'm calling constructor. Now guys, at this moment, if I run the code, which constructor it will execute? Only default constructor it will run, correct? So please have a look. If I run this code, I'm just getting one statement. Default constructor is calling. Okay. But as soon as I change the scenario, suppose I'm passing here 100. Now what happened? The constructor which is with integer parameter, that constructor will get executed. So at this moment, if I run the code, what the result I'm getting? Parameterized constructor is calling, and here you are able to see that ID, whatever number that we have passed. Correct? So this is how constructor will get called. But now what I wanted to do, suppose I'm calling first parameterized constructor. So here in this example, let's say we are calling parameterized constructor. But from that constructor, I wanted to call default constructor also. How we can do that? Now guys, one rule. Whenever you are calling any constructor, constructor call, let me write here, constructor call must be first statement. Remember, first statement of that constructor. Remember, where you are calling constructor, absolutely within constructor, correct? But that should be the first statement of your constructor, guys. You can't write. Do you remember? Return keyword we have to write always at the last statement. Okay, last statement, it should be last statement of your method. Similarly, if you are calling any constructor, you can't write constructor at the end. Means if I come to this method, I mean constructor, parameterized one. And if I just write here, this constructor I wanted to call. See, Java will not allow you. What the Java is actually, giving you as a compiler error, Java says constructor call must be the first statement in a constructor. Are you understanding? So you can't call at the last. If you really wanted to call that default constructor, do one thing, you can call it here. And this is allowed. Now, no error. So you just need to remember the rule where you are calling that constructor. So at this moment, what is the meaning of this constructor, guys? This particular constructor says that whenever you will get call, right? Means whenever you will call this constructor, initially the statement is this constructor. And which constructor actually it is calling? It is calling default one. Are you getting my point? So what will be the result of this particular code? Very first, with the help of object, we are calling parameterize. So control will come to here. ID will assign with 100. Great. But now it is again calling default. Means control will come to here. It will first print default constructor calling, and then it will print parameterized constructor is calling. Are you getting my point? So just have a look. If I run this code, now please understand the flow. First I'm calling default, then I'm calling parameterized one. And this is called constructor calling using this keyword. Got it? But here I have explained default one, right? Now let me comment. Suppose here I'm calling default constructor directly. Okay, at this moment I'm calling default constructor. But from default constructor, suppose I wanted to call parameterized constructor, that is also possible. Means you can just come here, just write this. But guys, in this keyword, I can't call same constructor call within a constructor, right? Why I'm getting error? Because I'm calling here. What is the meaning of this statement? This statement defines that you are calling default one. Inside default constructor, you can't call default. If you want parameterized constructor to call, we need to pass argument to it. Correct? So suppose I'm writing here 101. Now this is allowed. Can you see that? Means what is the meaning of this statement? First call default constructor, then call parameterized constructor. Means when you run this code, because of this default constructor, control will come to parameterize first. You will get this message first, right? At this moment. And then it will come back, and then it will print last message that default constructor is calling. So a sequence can be anything that depends on your requirement. You can call a constructor, but only rule you need to remember that this keyword also help you to invoke constructor of that class, and both the constructor you can call, but only one point: whenever you are calling any constructor, that statement should be at a first line. You can't write at the end. Okay, and this is the meaning. Now please tell me, this point is clear? How you are invoking your constructor with the help of this keyword? Absolutely, this is how you need to write your this constructor. Technically you can read in the form of this constructor, and that is the meaning. Like you can use this keyword to invoke current class constructor. Now see one more method, I mean one more use. This can be passed as an argument in a method call. So technically, suppose you are passing any input to your method, and you wanted to pass directly object, right? Object information. So you can use this keyword. Now how to do this? Please have a look. How we can make a method, constructor we can pass as a while calling that method. Just have a look. Suppose I'm designing new class now. Again, this keyword, demo. This is 5. Okay, 4. Yes. 3 classes we have completed, right? Okay. And let me just put the meaning. This is the concept. I will create quickly main function, public static void main. And here I'm writing string arguments. Okay. Now guys, what exactly in this example we just need to understand. This can be passed as an argument in a method call. Better I will do one thing. I will create a method, public, void, let's say show method. Hmm? And in show method, what exactly I'm trying to do now? I will pass this keyword. I mean, generally this will point the current class instance everyone, correct? So better I will do one thing. I will just add here one integer and let me put some value. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, this is the show method which I have created. And at this moment, let me, what the show will do. Suppose I'm writing here, okay, this is show method. I'm just calling, show method calling. Fine. And guys, I will create same class object because I wanted to call this instance method. So again, T1, it is equal to new, and this is our constructor. Now what happens whenever you run this statement, right? Object will create, and then using T1, you can call that particular method, correct? But suppose now what I wanted to do, I am taking another method example. Suppose in this class, let's see any other thing we have created. Okay, we have student detail class. Okay, just have a look. Currently, I'm having student detail class, and in student detail class, we have this display method, right? That you can see. What I will do, everyone, either you can pass current class object directly to that particular method, right? Which is available in the same class. Or suppose you wanted to call or create any object, and that object you wanted to pass, that is also possible. Means at this moment, I have just created show, right? If I come to this example, I have just created show method, and I'm just writing one simple message. Okay, show is calling. If I run this, you can see you are getting that result, show is calling. Now let me do one thing. I'm creating object of student detail class. So just have a look here. Okay. Now at this moment, let me comment. I'm creating object of student details class. Let me check the name. Yes. S1. It is equal to new, and I'm just writing student details. Okay. Object. I mean constructor. This is the way you will create an object of that class. Now let me check details. ALAILS. Yeah, it is correct. Okay, I think we are passing something in this constructor. Let me check. So in the constructor, we are passing this two argument. Okay, I'll do one thing. I will create student details. Okay, one simple default constructor also. Okay, and let me put here one more message. Okay, this is student So I will be having two choice now. Either I can pass directly data to the constructor, or I can just directly call the default constructor. This is student default constructor. Okay, so now I'm writing two constructor in student detail class, and let me save it. So whenever I'm calling here object, now I'm not getting any error, correct? Like I'm calling default constructor. And suppose if you want, you can pass this data also. Like suppose I'm writing SEMA. Great. So now I'm calling from that class parameterized constructor. That is the meaning. But guys, what is the purpose of this keyword? I mean, another use is what? You can pass this keyword as a argument to the method call. Okay. So suppose what I'm going to do at this moment, this is another object, but please understand the meaning, okay? Which exactly this keyword always point to current class, not another class. Means if I wanted to pass show method, right? If I wanted to call show method and inside a show method, if I'm passing this keyword as an argument, how I can do that? So this keyword always refer current class instance. At this moment, suppose I wanted to pass this student detail construct, object. Then I will do what? I have to declare a method in the same manner. What I can do, see, I will just write, just call t1.show. Perfect. But inside this show method, I wanted to pass this s1. Can I make this entire call? Absolutely yes. Okay, you can make this call. But for this, your definition should match. Are you understanding? I can pass any other class object also. But in that case, my code definition, that method definition must be matched. Because if I'm expecting that or object to be passed here, then I need to design the method in the same manner. Means at this moment, show method is capable to read object. Are you getting my point? Read object of student detail class. So that's the reason what I will do. I will just create object inside this method. Declare it, I mean. Correct? Then only this is allowed. Just have a look. Whenever you are creating object, then only this is allowed. Otherwise, it is not allowed. So at this moment, if I call, what this method will do? Method is able to calling that show. In fact, using that S object, again from student data, I can access everything. So if you really wanted to print ID, you are really wanted to print that name variable plus display method, everything you can do from that class. Suppose I'm calling display method. So at this moment, what is the output of this program? Just have a look. Please understand the flow. I'm creating first object of same class. Then that t1.show, I'm calling. But t1.show, how exactly I'm calling? I'm creating student detail object and that object I'm passing to that method. Correct? So show method is actually reading object from which class? Student detail class. And when it comes to here, now you can perform anything from that class. So inside a student detail, I'm having display method and which I'm calling here. So basically what exactly this concept it is? I am passing any other class object to this particular method, right? So at this moment, if I run, you will able to see the message show is calling. And because of display method, you are able to see both the ID and name of that student detail class. But guys, this is not related to this keyword, right? Because this keyword doesn't point any other class. This keyword always point to the current class. Means at this moment, I'm designing here one more method. Just have a look. Public. Okay, void. And suppose I'm writing here show 2. Great. This is my second number method. Show second number method. Now you tell me, if I wanted to call this show 2 method, and suppose in show 2 I wanted to pass current class object, with which class I need to design this method? Can you please tell me within this method what as a parameter I need to write? See, basically, now I wanted to do what? T1 dot show 2. I'm calling show 2 method. And show 2 method, here I'm passing this. So I can pass a this. But whenever you are passing this, what is the meaning of this keyword? Hmm? Tell me. This keyword means at this moment, I'm passing actually T1. I'm passing T1 show 2 and I'm passing T1 here. T1 means what? Which is the object of this class now? So better we need to design a method in same manner. Just have a look. If I write here, okay, any other name you can write. So what you are doing, you are calling that method, right? And instead of this, can I declare directly this here? Just have a look. At this moment, this is not allowed, right? We can't directly pass this. But if I declare that object one more time, let's see this manner, then I can pass. So please have a look. Now this method is capable to read current class object and which I'm passing here. I'm calling method, I'm passing same object to that method. Suppose now at this moment, I'm trying to write ID is, which is declare 101 now. So let me write here same ID. I will change this number, okay? I will make a note, like I will just put here 102. And current ID is what? It is 101, right? So at this moment, whatever the show to method it is, which is accepting what? Current class object. Now please have a look. Here I am passing current class object. So only we are able to call that method. Suppose I am commenting this call. I don't want to call it, right? But I wanted to show you that like how we can pass this as a argument to that method call. So for that reason, I have declared a method which accepting current class object. And if you wanted to call it, let me call here. Can I call directly that show to method within a method? Yes, we can call now. Can I write in this manner? Show to. I'm calling show to. And here what I'm passing. Current class object which I can refer with this keyword. See, this is called method call using this keyword. Method call using this keyword. Are you getting my point? One more time I'm repeating. See, first of all, you need to understand that whenever you are calling any method, so far what we have learned, we can pass any data. That data can be string, data can be integer, data can be any type, and we can call a method. But we haven't discussed that can we pass object to the method? Yes. So first example I have given to you that I have created object of student detail class and then I'm calling your current class method and here I'm passing object. So what is this example all about? Method call using object. Correct now? So basically we are passing object to that method and we are calling that, method. So I will say method call by passing, not using, passing that object. Correct? So currently I'm passing which class object? Student detail. So whenever you are calling any method by passing object, method definition it should match. So for which class object you are passing? Student detail. That's the reason I have converted show method, which is reading object from student detail class. Directly now the concept is clear. But guys, suppose you wanted to call a method using this keyword. That means method has to accept argument as a what? Current class object. So I design another method show to which is actually accepting same class object. And now if you wanted to call show to method, you can just pass this keyword. And this is the meaning. Like this keyword we can use to pass, current class object. Clear? So you can call a method by passing current class object. Now clear? So absolutely see if you are executing. Okay, can you try? Can you please tell me what is the output of this program? What is the output of this program? Anyone? Please explain me output of this program. How the code and how the flow is. Yes. See, I will just make little bit small. Hmm. Now tell me if you are able to see the full code. Yeah. Now tell me what is the output? Yeah, try it. If it is wrong, that is fine. But try to understand what will happen first. Yeah, anyone? No? Guys, see. What the first will happen? Just have a look. Huh? I'm trying to explain the flow because just have a look. How the flow it is and what you need to understand. If I'm taking this snippet, okay? What this code and how this code is actually working. Focus. As I told you, very first control will start from this main function. Agree? Control will come here and it will create an object of which class? Current class. So this is what T1 object, which is a current class object, right? Current class object, T1, correct? In current class, I'm having ID, I'm having show method, plus I'm having show to method. Great. Two methods I'm having. Okay. Now after this line is completed, control will come to this line. Here what will happen? Object for student detail class will be created. Now student detail class is different class. Agree? Student detail class. And for this class, actually we are having display method, plus we are having ID, plus we are having name. Correct? And this is my S1 object. Whenever S1 will be completed, I mean created, we are passing S1 into this method call. Who is this method? I mean, which one is this method? Show method is a current class method. So because of this line, you are passing object as an argument and you are calling show method. Control will come to the show. Correct? Now inside a show, first line will be absolutely show method is calling. Then it is calling display method. Whenever it is calling display method, S1 is printing current ID and current name, which is in our case 102 SEMA. Means you will get the output 102 and SEMA. Great. Now we are doing what? We are calling show to method. And inside a show to, I am passing this. This means absolutely current class object. Correct, everyone? Now please have a look. Then this method will call show to. It is passing current class object which we have already defined. When you define it, then only this method will be executed. Otherwise, no. And now what is happened? This method is calling ID. What is this ID? ID from the current class. I think in my case, I have written 101. So this is what the full flow and the output you will be getting. Means output in the same manner. If I run this program, just have a look. I am getting a result that show method is calling C102 and SEMA, and then finally I'm getting ID. Are you clear? So what is the purpose of this keyword? Using this keyword, you can call same current, you can pass current class instance or current class object in that method. So this can be passed as an argument in your method call also. This is the meaning. So using this keyword, we can pass a current class object and whatever operation you wanted to do from the current class, that is possible. Similarly, you can pass this keyword. Okay. See, this can be passed as an argument to the constructor call. Okay, so now let me show you this tricky example. Focus. I am creating one more example, which is for this keyword. This keyword demo, let me design 5. Okay, I'm taking main function. Now guys, what exactly we wanted to understand? So we wanted to understand meaning of this line, that this can be passed as an argument in constructor call. Okay, now please have a look what I'm doing. First, constructor call means let me design my constructor. Okay, so here I'm designing one constructor. Constructor name and class name must be same. But in this constructor, I will be passing this keyword. Okay, so whenever you are passing this keyword, you can't write here directly this. Are you understanding? Not allowed. This means current class object. So instead of this, you are writing current class, which is in my case, this keyword, okay, demo 5. Okay, I will be passing what? Current class object. Now, either you can pass current class object or you can pass some other class. Currently, I'm passing this, so I need to pass current class object. Clear? And this is how I'm able to call that method or constructor. So in constructor, what going to do now, I'm passing just current class object. Now, guys, suppose in my current class, let me declare some data. I'm writing integer amount. Okay. And I'm having amount something around 9,000. Great. So this amount I wanted to print in my constructor. What I will do, I will just print, okay, amount is, amount is, and here I am printing that, okay, amount variable. Great. And let me make a concatenation. Done. So technically, the constructor, whatever I have designed, What is the type of this constructor? I can say parameterized constructor. So I'm writing one more statement, okay, for understanding. Parameterized constructor, okay, calling, right? I'm calling parameterized constructor. Great. Now, guys, absolutely what happened? How this constructor you are able to call? You are passing some current class instance to this constructor. Agree? Now, at this moment, there is one more interesting part. If I'm creating constructor and this constructor, I'm passing the current class instance, right? So what is the problem? How you can call it? Now, please have a look challenge. Okay. Suppose I wanted to run this constructor. So let me create a object. Now, please have a look. Huh? Suppose T1, it is equal to new and the default. If you call this one, not allowed. Correct now? At this moment, what I need to pass in my constructor call? See, it is mentioned that your constructor is undefined. You have defined with some argument, which is the current class object. Current class object means I can't write here this, everyone. I'm writing this in the main function, not allowed. What I need to pass? Tell me. Suppose I'm passing here current class object means what is the current class object? It is T1, right? Can I pass T1 then? If I write in this manner, see now there is a challenge. It is not allowed you. You can't pass T1 also directly. Okay, because you are calling same constructor and you are passing same instance to that constructor. So what the point we are going to change now? I'll show you another class. Okay, just have a look. Class A. And within this class A, I will design a constructor. Okay, which is A constructor. Great. And in this A constructor, I will pass your current class instance. Can I pass? Just have a look. Suppose I'm writing T, any variable you can write. Okay, doesn't matter. So what is the meaning of this class? We have another class where we are calling constructor. Constructor name is A. And in this A constructor, I'm passing this keyword demo 5 class object. Okay, so I'm passing here constructor in the constructor current class object. Clear? Now the point is, suppose what is the purpose of this constructor? This says that, okay, I am a constructor, right? I'm a constructor, just a simple message, right? I'm a constructor and suppose I'm printing this constructor is responsible to print amount, right? So I'm just printing that amount. Better a small. So amount is coming from this class, correct now? The class object is T. You can't call amount directly. You have to call with the instance variable which is T dot amount. Means this constructor will only responsible to print the amount. That is the meaning. Okay, great. But now please have a look. So guys, what I'm going to do now, I will remove this constructor part from here. So I'm calling default constructor. At this moment, let me change my syntax. This is default constructor calling. And better to print amount from here, let me call a class constructor. Okay, how to call a class constructor? You need to create an object here. A, A1, new, A constructor. That's it. But in this constructor, now what you need to pass? Tell me. What is the constructor A? Constructor A which accept object of this keyword, right? I mean this keyword demo 5 class. So current class object, if you wanted to pass as an argument to the constructor, here I can use this keyword. Now clear? So technically I'm calling default constructor. Control will come to the default constructor. It will print first message, default calling. Same class object we are passing to a class constructor. So a constructor will get called. Control will come to a constructor and it will just print I am a constructor and then your amount is 9,000. That's it. So technically this keyword will help you to call or pass as an argument to constructor. This is the meaning. So we can't pass same constructor, okay, I mean same object in the constructor, right? So better what we can do, for any other class, current class constructor, current class object we can pass using this keyword. So I design another class, class A, and in A class constructor, I'm passing current class object using this keyword. Here, the statement actually meaning is here that this keyword we are passing as argument to constructor. Okay. So while calling that constructor, we are passing this keyword as an argument. This is the meaning. So these two examples are quite tricky. Okay, we can pass this keyword into method also. We can pass this keyword into constructor call also. But you need to understand the topic, which rule is applicable. If you are writing current class and current class object, you are passing to current class constructor, that is not allowed in Java. There in main function, you will not able to call and you will not able to pass even that current class object. That's the reason I'm just calling default constructor. Inside default constructor, I'm calling other class object where I'm calling a constructor, and inside a constructor, I'm passing current class object. Then only this makes sense and you will able to see the result. Correct? Otherwise, you will not see the result. You will get lot of error. So better try to understand the concept. The purpose of this keyword is what? We can pass this keyword, just call any constructor. In fact, we can pass this keyword into method also as an argument. So two ways you can follow this keyword. This is again for the interview. Now the most important topic. What is builder pattern and why exactly this concept is important in Selenium? So guys, I'm not sure that you are aware about Selenium scripting or not. I mean, have you observed automation script? Anyone? You know what is Selenium and how the script is actually we prepare in automation? Anyone have
Yes.
idea?
Yes,
Okay, the
ma'am.
basic you
Follow
have,
this.
right?
Yeah.
Huh. So now let me help you. See, first of all, let me clear this board. Just observe. Okay. Hmm. Usually, what happens, in Selenium when you start writing the script, okay? So we create a WebDriver object technically, okay? And general concept is what? How you are writing the logic. Suppose, let me give you one simple example. What I wanted to do, I wanted to write a code for maximize the screen, okay? So we have a statement to be write something like this. Suppose, remember, this is the WebDriver interface and driver is the object for it. Okay. So object name is driver means whatever I can call through the driver only I can call. So I'm calling in this manner. Okay. Driver dot manage dot window dot. I'm writing here maximize. So now please have a look. This is called from one method means first of all driver is a object. From object I'm calling manage method. Yes, this is method, right? From manage, I'm calling window method. From window method, I'm calling maximize method. And when you write this statement, it will just make your browser or it will maximize your complete browser window. But the question is, how we can call a method in this pattern? From one method, another method, next method, how you are able to call it? Is it possible in Java? Please have a look. So this is the example for again this keyword, but I will give a name for this class as a builder pattern. So please have a look what is meant by builder pattern, which is very strong concept, okay, in Java. And now let me help you with builder pattern. Focus. So guys, I'm first creating method. Let me write public void start browser, okay? And here I will write first browser started, okay? Then I will write another method. Let me design, okay? I'll say better launch application, or let me write launch app. So application launch, okay? And then I will say stop browser, okay? Browser stop. Three method I'm having, okay? Please have a look how we can call this method. So absolutely, current method we can directly call only with the help of class object. So I will come to the main function and then I will just create an object. Okay, builder pattern B1, it is equal to new and builder pattern object. B1 dot, I'm calling start. Okay, start browser. But guys, from start browser itself, I wanted to call launch app also. Can I call? How to call a method? Put dot operator, right? If I put dot operator, is it I'm getting any access to call anything from this current class? Because all three methods available in the current class. I wanted to call it. But how? I wanted to call like a chain fashion. Method chaining. Same concept you can refer as a method chaining. Correct? From one method we are calling another method again we are calling next method. How this chain is possible in Java. So guys, concept is what you need to understand the technical meaning here. Whenever you have any object, only through the object of that class, you are able to call all the method of that class. Correct? At this moment, if I just use B1 and if I just put dot operator, I am getting access to call everything from the same class. So here I can call na launch app. Yes, I can call. But from launch app also, I can't call next method. Why it is so? Because current method, it is just a method. If you really wanted to call from the method any other method has to return current class object. Are you understanding? When it is possible in the chain fashion, basically currently all three methods whatever we have designed, those are only method. If you wanted to call anything from that method, means I'm having start method, right? Start browser method. So if I wanted to call anything from this method, currently it is just a method, right? So we are not able to call anything. But if I convert method into object, what do you think? Then I can call, right now? If I just say, okay, this method is now not a method, it is an object. Method is returning in the form of object, then I can call everything again from that class. Means guys, currently in my class, I'm having three methods. Remember, start, suppose launch, and I'm having stop. So current class method means any other method also you wanted to call. You have to convert method in the form of object. Then only you can call. So I can call then launch application method. I can call again from launch if you want to call anything. Launch is a currently method. You have to return in the form of object. Then only you can call any other method from that particular method. And then this chain fashion you are able to design. So Selenium developers have used same concept to develop that method chaining pattern. That's the reason in Selenium scripting is quite easy. You are just like writing multiple things in a same line. Correct? But how it is possible? So what is the rule? When you convert method in the form of object, it is possible. Now please have a look purpose of this keyword. What is written here? This can be used to return current class instance from the method. Now guys, what is meaning of this line? This can be used as a current class instance. Let me copy and now let me use in our this keyword builder pattern exam. So actually they are asking you whenever you wanted to design any method chaining, you can use this particular use. Okay, this keyword use. So I have to convert, basically I have to convert method, okay, into object. How we can convert this method into object? I have to return from this method current class instance. Okay. So guys tell me, whenever you wanted to return anything from the method, what we do? We use return keyword now. So at this moment I'm writing return. But I wanted to return current class instance. Full object I wanted to return. What I need to write here? Now tell me. I wanted to return current class instance from this method. Current class instance means current class object. Is it I'm writing the builder pattern class name? No. What I need to write? I will be just writing this. That's it. Return this means we are returning current class instance from this particular method. What is the meaning of this statement? Okay, return current class instance means full object. Remember, Now tell me the rule. Second number rule is what? Whenever you are returning anything from the method, return type you should change. Now can you tell me what should be the return type I should write for this method instead of void? I can't write void now. So what should be my return type? If I'm returning current class instance, so this is pointing to whom? Object. Whose which object? I mean, object is for which class? Builder pattern. So absolutely everyone, I need to pass builder pattern object name here. I mean class name here. So currently my method is capable to return current class object. Clear everyone? So return type should be class name. Whose object is it is? This is a pointing to the object of builder pattern. That's it. And now see the beauty. Now whenever you are writing in this manner, so whenever I'm calling, just have a look. Now I'm calling start browser, right? But when I put dot operator, now I'm getting access of current class. Means from start browser, now you can call any other method. See, I can call suppose launch app, right? And at this moment, if I run, both the method will be executed. Please have a look. I'm getting application or browser started, application launch. But can I call anything from application? I mean launch app application method? No. Why? Because this method is just a method. If you really wanted to call anything from this method also, you need to change the syntax. Means here I will be writing same return this, correct? And this means it is referring current class object. Now please have a look. Whenever I change method in the form of object, now I can call everything from that same class. And now I can call stop browser. So in this pattern, I am able to write a logic. Clear? And this is exact logic Selenium developers have used. And that's the reason automation script you are able to write in the builder pattern. People will ask you in the interview, whatever Selenium statement it is, meaning of that statement. So they might write a code, right? They might ask you what is the meaning of this code, but you should be able to answer. So if they are writing in this manner, driver, let's say manage, let's say there is another method like timeout. Okay. Suppose I'm writing timeout. Then they are writing suppose implicit wait. So whatever method you are calling, right? They will ask you what is the meaning. You need to explain. Okay. This is called method chaining. How from one method you are able to call another method. So this is called method chaining. So technically method is returning in the form of object, and because of that from one method we are able to call another method, right? So this is concept which is very strong concept and which is called builder pattern in Java. Clear? So whenever any method returning current class object, okay, or any, mainly it is all about method we are converting in the form of object, then only in this chain fashion you are able to write a logic. Now clear? So entire Selenium development based on the same principle. That's the reason you need to understand what is method chaining or what does mean by builder pattern. And this is the point which we have completed today. So guys, all the purposes of this keyword we have understood. We can use this keyword to call any instance variable, to call any instance method, to call any constructor. We can use this keyword. Plus this keyword we can use to pass argument into method and argument into constructor also. And the last example which we have seen, that this keyword help you to return current class instance from the method, and that will help you to implement method chaining. I hope now the points are clear. Yes, everyone, are you understanding the topic? So practice all the examples, whatever I have shown to you, please do practice. So here we have completed our core topics, different methods, example, okay, parameter passing, and how exactly we are able to pass a parameter at compile time, run time. Plus we have completed main constructor, and here we have completed different purposes of this keyword. Now before moving to conditional statement, I would like to show you one more scenario. Can anybody tell me what is the difference between static and instance variable? Hmm. Because I will be showing you now that exact difference. Okay. So this is class about static versus instance variable. Chalo, before continue, please tell me what is the difference between instance and static variable. Anyone? Can you try? We have learned na instance variable and static variable, but what is the difference? Okay, just have a look. Better, I'm writing one code and you tell me output of that code. Okay, guys, integer count. Okay, integer count and count is equal to 1. Fine. Now I'm creating constructor for same class. So let me create constructor. What this constructor will do, this will print count. Great. And after printing, it will just make count plus plus. Means count will be incremented by 1. Now I will be creating this object. Let's say 1, it is equal to new. I'm creating first object. But now I wanted to create, suppose, multiple object. Let's say second, third, fourth, 5. 5 time I'm creating 5 different objects. So this is S2. Consider object 3, object 4, and object 5. Now my question to all of you, what is the output of this program? Hmm. Main function will be executed first. But my question is very simple. What is the output of this program? Can anybody try? Yes? Think what will happen. It's very simple. Hmm.
Hmm. I think nothing is called in the main function, so it will not work.
No, how come? We are calling na in main function. See what we are calling. Please have a look. We are calling that object, right?
Okay.
And here what exactly we are calling, if you just have a look, I have created constructor, which
Okay,
is
with
default
same name.
constructor. Exactly. So we are calling here that constructor. So definitely it will print the result. But the question is what it will print. Like count is 1. So very first it will print 1. Agree? Now count plus plus. So count will be incremented by 1. But what do you think? What is the output of this code? How many time constructor will call? That much number of time you will see the count. Correct? Means 5 time I'm getting count value in the console. But my question is what value you will get? Okay, initially it will print 1. Then what is the next value? Guys, I discuss about difference, okay? We have learned three
So,
variable. We have learned three variable, local, instance, and static. Local means variable declared within a method, we can say local. And local has a different scope. But static and instance plays important role because static variable, instance variable we declare inside the class, outside the method. Now the point is, if this method, I mean variable I have declared count, first of all, what is the type of this variable? So absolutely it is an instance variable.
instance.
And we learn one rule. The number of time you create an object, instance variable will get the memory that much number of time. Means instance variable will get every time new memory. Correct? So what is the output of this code? I mean this code, how exactly it is working? Please have a look.
So
So
it
if
will
I
be one
just,
for all the objects.
absolutely correct. Now you got the point. Okay. Now please have a look. Let me explain what it will do every time. So guys, I'm taking another color and just have a look. Okay, what is happening? So do you remember we discussed about the memory management, correct? Suppose this is my class load area and this is the stack and this is our heap area. So JVM have these three sections. Okay. Now what happened? Control will start first, very first from the main function. So it will come to here. Right hand side part always executed first, right? So it will create an object. Fine, object is created. Inside this object, only one instance data available. So object will be partitioned into two parts. But currently I'm having count is equal to 1. No method. Then constructor get called. Constructor whenever you are calling, it will first print current count. So what is the current count for that object? Absolutely 1. Correct? Constructor will increment the counter. 1 will become now 2. That is fine. But after that, constructor executed and control will assign to whom? That S1. Means same object will be referred by S1 variable and first statement completed successfully. Now it will come to second statement. Again, new object. So let's create new object. Here also count will be initially absolutely 1. Every time it will create a new memory. It will not reuse the same memory. So new memory count will be 1. Again constructor will call. Constructor print current count. What is current count? Absolutely 1. Again it will increment. Fine, this will become 2. But there is no use. Now we are not reusing that incremented value. And this counter, I mean this object will assign to S2. Second line completed. Similarly, third line, one more object will be created. Again, count will declare as a 1. And this is printing and this is referring to S3, right? After increment. But there is no use. Again, fourth object will be created. Again, count will be initialized to 1. First constructor will call, it will print the current count, it will increment the current count, but it will directly point to S4. And this is how 5 times all the objects will create. But because of the instance variable declaration, you will not get result 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the time, new memory will be created and the code will return you same result 1, 1, 1, 5 times. Now clear? So the main concept is instance variable will get the memory, newly memory assigned every time when you call that object. Clear? So when you create a new object, new memory will be assigned to instance. But guys, now the change. Initially, I declare instance variable. Yeah, purely it is an instance. But now suppose I'm writing in this manner. Static int count is equal to 1. Now scenario will be different, right? As soon as you write counter is a static, what is the change? Change will be in the memory declaration. Means at this moment in JVM, first point, inside a class load area only, static will get the memory. Agree na? This is our meta space. So inside a meta space, it will first initialize counter value with 1. Now because I have declared as a static. So memory will be allocated inside the class area. Please have a look. This is the stack. This is the heap area of the JVM. Now in stack, again main function will call first, right? Object will be create. Great. But in this object now, this is not instance variable now. So in this object, you will not get directly memory, but same counter, it will share with that object. Object can share the data. I mean, whatever static data it is, we can share with object. So current object, now object is created. There is no instance data, no instance method, but then constructor will call. Constructor print current count. What is the current count? In the output, you will get 1. That is the current count. Now constructor increment the value. Great. It will become 2. Right? Then it will come and it will just assign this object to S1. Right? Where the static data we have shared. Now the second line will run. New object will be created. No instance variable, no instance method. But whatever current count it is, it will share with that second object. Again constructor called. It will print current count. Now tell me, what is the current count? Absolutely 2 now. So you are getting 2. Value will be incremented. Okay, cool. It will become 3. Now what happens? Same object will be assigned to S2. That's it. So whenever third object will be created, again no instance data, no instance variable, but this value we can share. Again constructor call, it will print 3. Next time, increment the value and it will assign to S3. Are you understanding the flow? So output of this program, if I'm calling 5 times, so I will get every time incremented count. Why it is so? Because static memory created only one time and it will share that memory with all the object. But instance variable will create always new memory. This is the difference you need to understand. So guys, if you just have a look, I'm not changing the logic, but I'm just changing the type of variable. And if I run this code, here you will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what is the basic difference between static and instance? Static memory creates only one time and it will share the same memory with all the object. Okay. Static variable get the memory. Okay. I will write memory one time and same memory. Okay. Same memory. It share, it share with all object. Clear? This is another interview question. But when you talk about instance, instance variable, instance variable get the memory or get the new memory, better, new memory every time, okay, when we create object, remember. So there is no same memory, and that's the reason output will be different every time. But here I'm creating, then output will be in this manner, 5 time 1, correct? 5 time only 1, 1, 1. You will able to see. But when you write in static, output will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember. Okay? So this is the concept. Now I hope all these core points are clear with everyone, right? Because from tomorrow, we'll be starting with very interesting topic, conditional statements, control flow statements in Java. Okay, we'll be learning multiple if else statement, in fact, a loop concept and all. So be ready for this core topic. And after this, we will move to last section where you need to understand what is array, what is string, and the object oriented programming principles. And from the object oriented, we'll start our journey towards automation. Okay, great. So practice all the points, this keyword tricky topics, right, which we have covered today. Just try to practice and understand the concept. Okay. And tomorrow we will continue with conditional statement, right? Fine. Okay, everyone. Bye bye. Take care. Have a nice day. Right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Bye bye.